Thank you so much. And thank you all for coming tonight. Random question. Is anybody going to Oktoberfest this year? Oh, shit. Okay, well, in that case, in honor of Oktoberfest fixing to happen, I'm going to tell you my Oktoberfest story. So, I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I do not belong here. When I was 16 years old, that song was my life, right? I was an angsty young skater punk teenager, and I was like, I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo, I don't belong here. That was my mantra. As an almost 40-year-old man, there is no situation where you should say that out loud. But it happened to me last Oktoberfest. So, I go to Oktoberfest. Now, you may go to Oktoberfest, but I go to Oktoberfest, right? Like, I have authentic German lederhosen that a German man brought me from Germany, that, like, I have the wool socks that come up to my knees, and I have, like, this crushed velvet, lederhosen, and I have this green wool cap with like a big feather that comes out that tickles everybody's noses when I walk by. I do Oktoberfest. It's my thing. And I look phenomenal, right? And so last year, I had maybe had one or two drinks, too many, as one might do at Oktoberfest. And I had made my way home that particular evening. And I landed at home to find my wife not home. And I was all alone. And my wife had recently taken to murdering squirrels with a BB gun for pest control purposes, but I really think it was something sadistic. And I thought to myself in this kind of intoxicated state, well, self, maybe I should murder squirrels. Because if I murder squirrels, then my wife will know that I love her and the things that she does, and that I'm okay with squirrel murder. I once accidentally killed a dove, and I cried for 2 days. So squirrel murder is like way up on my list of things I would never do, right? But I see the BB gun sitting over there on the kitchen table, because that's where you put BB guns. And I'm like, ooh, this is opportunity for squirrel murder. And so I grab the BB gun, and I'm looking out the window of the kitchen, and sure enough, I see a squirrel right there on that big oak tree that's right outside the kitchen window. And so I'm like, squirrel, you going down, bro. And I kind of drunkenly grab the window, and I'm like trying to force it open, and get it up like that. And I'm pointing the BB gun out the window, and I'm like, all right, kaboom. That's not the sound of BB guns, but, for dramatic effect, it made a kaboom. And so I look hard at the squirrel, which didn't move, and it turned out it was like a leaf or something. I'm not real sure, but it didn't go anywhere. But when I pulled the trigger on the BB gun, I heard this distinct, like, tinking sound, like the sound of two glasses coming together. And I was like, what's that? What was that noise? That's weird that a squirrel would make that noise. And then I look past the now invisible squirrel, and I see my neighbor's window across the street. And I'm like, I'm a 40-year-old man, I'm an almost 40-year-old man that just shut out my neighbor's window with a BB gun. At some point, I'm supposed to be an adult. I don't know when it's going to happen, but one of these days soon it's going to happen. And so I was like, I did what any reasonable person would do. I went over to investigate to see if I had shot my neighbor's window out with a BB gun. Now, keep in mind, I had just gotten back from Oktoberfest. It was late at night. My neighbors were two 20-year-old TU students, bleach blonde cheerleaders, and I'm standing outside their window in full lederhosen. At some point, I'm supposed to be an adult. And so I walk up to the window and I see the hole in the window and I'm like, crap, like, and I went up to go put my finger over the hole just to see how like deep it was or whatever, I don't know. And as soon as I touched that window, it shattered, just boom, to the inside of the house. And it made this loud crash. And I was like, oh, that was not good. And then lights started coming on in the house. And there was like a scream and somebody yelling, call something. And I was like, oh shit, I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here. And so I did what any reasonable man would do in his late 30s, in full lederhosen on a Saturday night, drunk and completely standing outside the window of two young TU students. I ran so fast back into my house. And within about 2 minutes, there were 5 cop cars on their lawn and up and down the block. And I'm standing in that kitchen window in the dark, looking out that window that I shot their window out of. And I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because there's no talking your way out of that situation, right? Like, and I knew that the cops were going to come up and they were going to say, well, ladies, can you describe the perpetrator? And they were going to say, why, yes, we can. He looked like he just came from an 1880s Bavarian drinking festival. Oh, yeah, and he ran into that house right there. The cops never did come knock on my door. I don't know how. I don't know why. But hopefully that's the last time I will ever have to say in public that I'm a creep and I'm a weirdo and that I don't belong here. Thank you all so much.